It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
And welcome to the realm of geekdom. This is Nerd Breaking News. Before we start this, we want to thank you guys. We saw all the views and everything. So you had forced us out of retirement or semi-retirement. We're going to add more videos. So thank you so much for supporting us. Continue to support us. So go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next episode. So let's go to the Warner Brothers Discovery story that just came out, right? So they just reopened the takeover talks with Paramount, and it's all thanks to a surprise waiver from Netflix. So the company that already had that deal. So will Paramount come out with a richer offer and actually be able to steal away Netflix's Paramount win for Warner Brothers? Let's figure that out. Let's talk about it. Kid, let's go ahead and start with you.
All right, so here's the thing. So March 20th is the upcoming shareholder voting. The big deadline is March 20th. So like you said, they opened up a 7-day window. They get to allow Paramount to come with a higher bid, which they did. Netflix has a chance. They have 4 days to essentially match it or increase it. So it's still up in the air with regards to which bid is going to be the final bid before the March 20th shareholder meeting. But when it comes to, that's just analytics stuff. But when it comes to the actual context and all that stuff going on behind the properties and the licensing of Warner Brothers, what you have to consider is two different things. One, Netflix deal was only the streaming rights of the IPs of Warner Brothers. It didn't include the cable TV aspects of the deal, which that's what Paramount wants to include as well. Netflix has a higher cash value in the sense that they will be able to match it. But as it stands now, I think 27 and 30 are the difference of the bids per share. The presumption and what we're all hearing is that they're probably going to continue in the route of buying the Netflix shares or Netflix buying it all. So we have to consider behind everything that just happened, the math and all that stuff, the deadlines. You just got to consider on what's the lesser of two evils. Is it the Paramount route or is it the Netflix route? So I guess the trades and all that, they're having two different arguments here. One is Paramount, but you got to give some credit to Paramount, right? They did produce one of the Eagles' most favorite movies, Maverick. Maverick worked. It was a beautiful film. Everybody loved it. Nobody had to so you got to give them that. But that was really Tom Cruise, right? We don't got to really give Paramount too much credit. It's really Tom Cruise. And then you have Netflix, which the con against Netflix that people are saying in the industry is that because it's a streaming giant, it has the most money, it's the closest to compete against Disney, it's going to significantly damage acting and actors moving forward, because if you could get somebody for $75,000 to do a movie, why would you pay Brad Pitt $50 million? And so that's the counter argument. So the actors have it's kind of like a love-hate thing with Netflix, because some people don't see themselves as actors going to make TV films and series and all that stuff. They think they're still actors. Denzel Washington said it perfectly. The difference between TV and movies is that you watch TV at home, you have to pay to watch me in the theaters. That's what Denzel said back in the day. And then Paramount has a rocky history, right, with who they're connected with and the political aspects behind the deal. So for me, I hope Netflix continues to do what they're doing, and I hope they get secures it on March 20th. For DC purposes and Harry Potter and all the IPs, I think that if it goes, listen, I think James Gunn's time is done either way. I think we all lament Superman, with the exception of David Cornsweet. He's the greatest Superman ever. His time is running out. Supergirl's going to be a flop. Hey, listen, we have to call it what it is. Like James Gunn has been
right.
Dang. Right now. Straight to the chest. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Clayface might be actually something cool only because it's horror and it comes out in Hollywood time and a Halloween time. So that's not Gunn. Gunn is not related to that. So it might be successful. Gunn, with the exception of the Guardians of the Galaxy, is allergic to success. So his time is done either way. So for DC purposes, time is running out for him. For Harry Potter purposes, I hope they don't touch that TV series. Let it cook. One season a book. But yeah, I just think that it's better for Netflix, for Warner Brothers, because I think they have a better future, despite of the whole 45-day window, the argument they're going to do against Paramount. I think will just continue to burn DC. The one thing I would say for DC that is actually, as much as I don't want to give gun credit, it's the better spot now critically than the last 10 years because of Zack Snyder. That's my take.
I think DK.
Did you freeze?
Professor.
Okay.
No, I think I am having some technical difficulties, so sorry about that.
All right, I'm gonna get on my soapbox real quick. If I told you that Netflix, Disney, and Amazon own the same percentage of the streaming market, would you believe me?
Amazon who?
Amazon, Netflix, and Disney have the exact same percentage of control in the streaming market. Would you believe me if I gave you the number?
No.
Why not?
Because they feel that it's overwhelmingly Netflix.
Because deep down, you know it's bullcrap.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Netflix's legal argument to the FTC and the DOJ is that everything that you use to measure the streaming market is completely wrong. And funny enough, we've had this same argument as friends many times, that these streaming numbers can't be trusted. Netflix said the exact same thing. They said counting subscribers means absolutely nothing. Instead, what you should be counting is the amount of minutes watched on the platform per day, week, and month. And what Netflix is arguing is that their only true rival when you're looking at time is YouTube. And what they're saying is that the entire way that we measure online streaming needs to change and be adapted. The DOJ was like, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. And they said, we'll see you in court if you keep playing with us. And that's why I can tell everyone that Netflix will ultimately be victorious in this entire thing. Because while Paramount is trying to use politics in order to push their way through, Netflix is literally using regulatory law. And they're questioning the way that markets are interpreted. Because when you sit down and you're looking at it, this show is about to go on YouTube after this call. Like, when you start looking at it, Netflix's actual real rival in reality is YouTube, but we never talk about it that way. And the thing is that when you're looking at the business side as to what both sides are trying to do, Netflix's ultimate goal is to acquire HBO and Warner Brothers in order to put Game of Thrones and Stranger Things on the exact same platforms. That's the objective, to take on more minutes of your time. Paramount has an entirely different plan and an entirely different idea. Paramount, above all things, really, really, really wants to own these cable networks. The streaming part to them, they don't care so much about. So what does that mean for the consumer? Most people don't know that their plan is actually to combine Paramount Plus and HBO into one thing. You know what they would call it? Paramount Plus HBO. Do you all want to buy Paramount Plus HBO? Has anyone even been on the Paramount Plus app? I have. It's garbage. It's trash. What these vultures would do is they would buy Warner Brothers, and like thieves, they would pillage it like the thieves they are. Yeah, I said it. And they would they would run the thing into the ground. But keep in mind, the money that they are using for their deal is essentially international monopoly money. It's currently not cash realized. So how would they pay back all of that debt that they would have to take on to even acquire these large studios? What they would have to do is they would cut budgets. How do we know? Because they said so.
Yep.
So now, what makes an HBO show so special? The incredibly large budget that put all those dragons in shows like Game of Thrones. The incredibly large budgets that enable these shows to have such a diverse cast of characters. There's a reason why when you watch shows like The Sopranos and whatever, there are like 20-some characters in there because they got money. But the thing is will HBO feel like HBO if it didn't have money? No, it would be trash. You know what you would get? Shows like what's on Disney Plus. That would be the future for Warner Brothers properties if Paramount Plus, if Paramount actually acquired the entire business. But I'm fairly certain that will never happen because Netflix, as I told you previously, has a very compelling legal argument. So the way I think this whole thing is gonna land is Paramount's gonna stop and they're gonna say, we have this superior offer. And Netflix is gonna say, regulatory law is not on your side. Let's take it to court. And this is gonna be a real fun ride. And I would also add that when you're looking at Paramount Plus's deal, where they're trying to offer more money per share, it's cute. It's $3 more per share, right? But remember, the Netflix deal literally splits their current business in half. They acquire one half, so you get 20-something dollars a share, but you also get $10+ a share in your remaining company. So Paramount's new offer, it's not even serious. It's not even serious.
Plus, Netflix is also cash down.
Exactly. They say Brad, we got it. Cheddar, we got it.
Yeah.
We Netflix. We just got the Stranger Things money yesterday. We good for it.
And Zaslav, who has been known to be frugal in everything he does, is gladly going to take the cash now. Yeah.
Exactly. So the question is, why is this a thing? Why is the clown car allowed to continue running? And the short answer is because of the nature and the state of the country today. And I'll leave it at that. Passing it to the Eagle.
Yeah, we didn't want to get into politics, and we're still not going to. Sadly, That is the state of affairs.
I can touch on it. I can touch on the politics stuff a little bit.
No. It's okay, TK. It's okay. We don't want to. I mean, I won't do it. I'll just say this. Thank you to the kid and the professor for laying it out so good. I think at the end of the day that it's just hard when politics get involved and they get an extra week just to basically let you know and let the people know, right? Because it's all about perception. They're basically not going down without a fight, and they're literally pulling all the strings possible. The fact that, the president is basically going out there, making sure that he criticizes whatever deal is in place with Netflix, and basically saying, there's more money on the table from our side, quote unquote. And if they don't look at our deal fairly, then it's being done, totally wrong, and people are going to suffer. Well, no, there's a lot of stakes involved here, and I'll tell you what, if it ends up happening that Netflix wins the deal and the shareholders approve that it should go through and whatever, like, it's going to be totally fine for the sake of the consumer. We're going to be fine as soon as Netflix takes over. They're going to be the current IP will get shown. They're probably going to have more ideas for other, TV shows, old movies, reruns. There's so many things that Netflix will love to do, okay? And they're all going to benefit the consumer. If the other, deal happens and there's going to be a mess, because then you have to think about it this way. Netflix is not going to fight it, right? They're going to go to court, and they're basically going to be an argument of, like, because here's the other thing. If politically it doesn't work, it's just like the professor was saying, they will make it about a monopoly argument, right? Like, oh my God, look at the percentage that Netflix now has in terms of, well, listen, we're not talking about, if Netflix is the biggest, competitor right now, how can you say that they own the market if we're only talking about eyeballs? It's not necessarily the same as, go ahead, Professor.
No, you got it. No.
You got it.
Yeah, like it's not the same. So to your point, there's got to be a different measure of how we do the market talk. It can't just basically, and it feels sometimes like in the last few years that's what the DOJ has done when it comes to the monopoly cases. That their theories are gonna say so whack. It doesn't stand on legal grounds, and they lose, and it's just our money being wasted because they couldn't. At least they're basically saying, hey, at least we tried, and we told the DOJ to do something about it, so it just sucks. I hope that the Netflix deal comes true. Is going to be better for the consumer. That's the way that I see it.
I think also to piggyback what you said, which brilliantly, you guys did amazing. I think also think of it this way: Netflix, as much as I was trying to go against it, I was like, oh, what about HBO Max? Netflix is killing the streaming. I personally know people that's all they watch is Netflix, and I'm like, ugh, let me go to YouTube. I can't watch Netflix.
See,
Netflix. So what they did in their format and the way they run the stuff and the way that it's cost effective and X, Y, and Z, they have shows. They have so many shows you can watch, the variety in the movies and stuff. So you have to think of it also logically. Yeah, they've been killing streaming world for let's give them 10 years for argument's sake. They've been killing it for 10 years. Give them Warner Brothers IP access and money. This is a different level. Now you have a competition against Universal and you have a competition against Disney in a different field, right? Because they've been killing streaming. So now you go and say, hey, let me get Netflix money, but let's do now the IP of Warner Brothers and put it out there in theaters. That's now that's a different level.
Yeah, and if you think about it, what people do not understand is that, as I think like what the kid was saying, Netflix for so long has been more about give me the eyeballs, it will give me subscriptions, and it will give me the money. It's not like Prime, for example, like Amazon, who's been trying to get movies that get nominated, right? Like this big production, say, let's get this and watch it in here, and let's make a really compelling movie, and let's try to get an Oscar, and then whatever, whatever. Like Netflix is not on that side. They're all on the money-making, eyeball-making deal.
Look at Apple. And their Apple A24 studios, they've been trying so hard to do X, Y, and Z about a certain thing. You give Netflix the monster streaming that it is, and you give them Warner Brothers IP. Now you're getting two things going to one. It looks like Voltron on here.
Yeah,
it's going to be,
And here's the thing: if anyone
there's also another part. There's another part of the. Sorry, I guess I am lagging still. But there's another piece of it that you guys haven't mentioned it, which is the spun-off cable entity that is part of that Netflix plan that they have. So that means that not only are we getting more stuff in Netflix, we're actually getting another spun-off cable itself with Netflix. So that gives more opportunities for all these actors. You're saying, oh, you're not going to find a job. Well, you know what? This might be it. You might be in cable. This is going to be opening more doors for them as well.
Yeah, but some actors don't want that. Yay, that's the problem. Some actors are like, for example, Gary Oldman, right? The great Gary Oldman. That guy's a Hall of Fame actor. I love that man. He's doing Apple movies and Apple TV shows. And that show that he's on is amazing. Some people think that it's beneath them. What's that guy who was in Maverick role? The guy who was he was like the jerk. And he ended up being the cool guy. But remember, he blew up.
Glenn Powell?
Modern Family?
Glenn Powell was in a lot of Netflix stuff that you're like, all right, cool. And he built his stuff up from there.
True.
A lot of people are not doing it. That's not the last 10 years of acting is streaming, man. You build it from there, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, because now they have to work.
The old actors are saying, I don't want to do streaming. That's beneath me. But Jennifer Aniston is doing it. Well, what's the problem? Reese Witherspoon is doing it.
Correct.
What's the problem?
Correct. Unfortunately, it's evolving. We're evolving in what's going on right now in the industry. So unfortunately, they will have to adjust, whether they like it or not, if they want to continue making money.
Yeah, we'll see. And March 20th, I'm sure we're going to do a reaction video when the results come out. But I guess we have to wait till March 20th. But I think we're all on the same page. We're Team Netflix.
Yes. Yeah.
Any final comments before we call it a day?
I have one. If anyone out there cares anything about Warner Brothers products, that's DC, Harry Potter, whatever. Fact is, if Paramount owns it, they're going to underfund it. It's a fact. Imagine that Superman movie you just watched with a lower budget. That would be the future. Imagine the Batman movie, which looked relatively stable budget-wise, with a lower budget too.
Don't touch Matt Reeves. Leave him alone.
Don't touch it. Imagine House of Dragons, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, all those great shows, all with lower budgets. That would be
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Don't do it alone. Don't go.
All right, exactly. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you're excited with Netflix,